Hey guys, now I'm gonna do the workout before the walkout. We're gonna do our exercises before the my walkout, my walk and my workout, my walkout. Um, as I stumble immediately in the beginning of this, uh, looking really good here. That scabs down to just like a little flap of skin in a very good way, uh, and the we got like a bigger area of normal looking versus like puffy purple red. So very good there. I think maybe we'll just do check-ins on that on Fridays so that the results are more obvious for everybody and we don't spend a ton of time on it. There we go. A new day, a new day, a new dollar. Today would be the first time the news was getting really worked up about the Johnson and Johnson vaccine, which seems to have sort of a roller coaster of positivity to it, where it's like, well, it's not quite as good at this, but it's better at that. It's not cheaper, but easier, single shot, and of course Johnson and Johnson ain't no joke. They're gonna make a lot of vaccines if they make a vaccine. Thank God the timer was going. I was like, what already? Um, yeah, that's all looking positive news. Ooh, you got tickled by the soap. I'm gonna sneeze. Gonna sneeze. There we go. Man, my dad used to do these sneezes. That was like a good loud sneeze, and it had some vocalization to it. Where I was like, I'm gonna say "watchu" and see what happens. And he used to do a "wahima" when he sneezed, and I was always like, why do you do that? Like you just sneeze, and then after a while, you just start imitating it, and it's like, well, I guess it's fun. I guess it's funner than just sneezing. You get that one single big blast of a sneeze. I think anybody that watches our Halo videos sees Cray and I always making the like Kobe joke when someone sneezes. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I do these workouts one time a day off video, and they go so much faster because I just plow through them. Not out of form, not da da da, but it's the single minded focus versus talking is pretty hilarious. Um, I think it's like under 10 minutes, and some of these are brushing 20 minutes. So let's see if we can focus that down a little bit, get you all out of here a little bit quicker. Um, I know I promised we would have some Gen Zero content with Andy, but last night our schedules just could not line up again. Um, we probably are just gonna shoot for a Evolution TNT Doom Dynamite and Doom on Saturday and do that because I have early appointments on Monday. So our usual Sunday night. It's so weird that you can start a new timer while the old one's still alarming. Um, alarming as a verb, not alarming. It's so alarming. How could I start one if that one's alarming? How I can barely understand alarming as it's normally used after misusing it there or just like misappropriating it. While the other alarm's going off, how come I can start a new timer, which will then have its own alarm? Will they cascade? Anyway, being a jackass. I would nitfix it to just stop the old alarm when you hit it. Like have the whole screen interact on that to that degree. I guess it's probably tied into the notification bar. Um, they're probably pseudo hands tied because they chose to use the notification so that when you close the phone, you still get the notification on the timer. And we'll do our forum, supinations. friend of the site, Ed, got me a 4-pound weight here. I think I'm supposed to use like a 2 to 3. I'm just going to use the 4 because I only have a 2. And I want to use the 3 because I'm pretty sure it was to use the 3. This one, we're going to just be doing this to this, but I'm going to be doing it down here off camera. Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't. 3. Oh, no. I'm doing the wrong thing. This is just this. And I need my timer. This is holding it supinated for 30 seconds, pushing on the supination with this hand, trying to rotate it. With this hand, you can practically supinate this hand more than my left hand now because it's pushing, and that arm's still technically stronger in a lot of ways. I don't know if I shared the video, so I was looking for a weight. I should have waited to put this up. Oh, my timer. That's fine. I was looking for weights like these. And they're like $7-ish in San Francisco for like a 2-pound weight, 2 to 4 pound weight, whatever. The weights that were available, by the way, because they don't have a ton. And I assume there was like a run on free weights, dumbbells, because of stay at home, and everybody's like, "Wow, I'm gonna get jacked." I wonder how many people. Well, anyway, I don't want to be shitty. I wonder how many people bought shit and then didn't do shit, like I do all the time. But maybe that means I should be looking on Craigslist or something. Like, I want some weights. I got $3. You know, I'll buy 2 weights for $7. You know, something like that. eBay. Nothing worse, right, than shipping weights. They're literally just weight. Like all of the problems of heavy product with very little marketing advantage. They're just like, do you want to wait? There we go. I think I'm doing that a little out of position, but we'll be okay. All right, now we're going to do the ups. The ups, these are all wrists related. I'm going to be doing them a little bit off screen here, like we've been doing. Yeah, it was just rough. Could not get our schedules to line up. And then by the time we did connect, I was pooping out. I was getting late. It's hard for me to stay up as late as I used to, just because in general I need to be up for a lot of health related, like going to doctor visits and PT are scheduled. I wanted to be like flexible, so I scheduled them more early. I did a similar thing in college. I took my high school started at like 8 in the morning, and a lot of my friends were like, "Really? It's like so early?" It's like, "Yeah, well, I'm like up at 7, getting ready to go and be there." Luckily, my high school was nearby, so I only had to get up at 7, take a shower and all that, and get to school. And I could walk. I think it took me, if I'm remembering correctly, it took me 9 minutes or 11. It didn't take me much more or less than 10 minutes. And clearly I could, like hustle it up there. And at one point, they opened up the gate in the back that connected to the football field, and then they opened the gate from the football field. I don't even know if they opened it or someone just like left it open, but I could like go straight to the high school. Like I used to have to walk up the block, walk up my block, then walk up 3, let's call it 3 short blocks. San Francisco blocks, if you're going up the hills, they're shorter than when you're going parallel to the hill and going along the hills. They're longer in general. So I was going up the short hills, short blocks up the hill. So I'd go half a block, 1, 2, 3, half, like about a block. And I was at school. I mean, school's big, so but I was at a place I could get into school. Jeez, such specificity about how I would walk to school. Anyway, then they opened up a door in the back, and I could walk half a block the other way and walk straight into the school after 2 blocks. Walk into the back of the school. And then, of course, being a kid, at some point, I relied on that, like, oh, I'm running a couple minutes late. I'm going to run up the back and, oh no, the back's locked. Now I've made it longer all around and I was late starting, and then it was school run by Jesuits and they really fucking cared about the rules. So it wasn't like when you all go to work and you're a little bit late and everybody's like used to it and blah, 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 blah. All right, now we're going to do the forearm supinate pro with a can, 3 sets of 10. This is the one where we're going like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I love that with the weight now, I feel a challenge, particularly in the long head of the bicep. Which I think, due to like a style of how I would play video games, I would kind of like lean on that bicep a lot, and I couldn't tell if I was like stressing it or atrophying it over time with like a long run of video game playing. It wouldn't have mattered when I was like 40, let alone 40, 30, let alone 40 versus 45. Play video game all week, it just wouldn't have mattered. And then I was realizing it was happening, so I was doing a lot of free weight dumbbell stuff to compensate. Well, not a lot, but stuff that I saw results from. So it was what I wanted. That's good. This is such a more focused and better set of exercises than the other exercises, which I liked, but I noticed were maybe time consuming. I need to really rotate this to the pronate. I think I'm being lax because they care a lot about my supinate, and I think my pronate is just getting lazy. There we go. And then the last one here is just a bicep curl, and we're out of here. So yeah, hopefully we get a video going with Andy on Saturday, today being Friday, so tomorrow. And would be nice to our overall schedule and our interests if that had wrapped up evolution for the most part, or at least so we could then explore some of the more like one-shot interesting aspects of the game and then call it a wrap, or throw like a Simpsons Doom WOD on there and mess with the graphics. Do little things like that. Maybe, boy, we really liked having that Simpsons WOD when we were kids. There's also something to it. It's interesting in a purely analytical gameplay sense. The Simpsons WOD changed everybody to nice, big, bright Simpsons colors and gave them big, loud Simpsons quotes recorded off of the show. And when I say Simpsons quote, I mean it was like season 5. It was a long time ago. And so if you're like, oh boy, Simpsons quotes like about Medina and Lady Gaga, which is already like 10 years ago or something. We're talking like just Moe and Barney and Smithers and Burns, just coming out and replacing the demons, floating along if they have to float, and yelling, "Gonk, gonk, more," and these big loud things, big burps, big Barney burps. And in the gameplay, so what I'm saying regarding game design and gameplay is the characters were a lot more visible, a lot louder, and there's something to that. You can always watch the videos to hear more about this, but when I first played Doom on a computer in 93, late 93, like we were getting ready to graduate, and my buddy had a 486 and we played it there, and he didn't have a sound card. So it just had a little piezo speaker that the beep, 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 beep. It could barely do anything but a single beep. It didn't really have a lot of tones. Maybe it had 2 tones. I can't quite remember. So the monsters just went beep, 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 beep when they're walking around. They just that's it. They had what they had. Beep, 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 beep. You know, all these cadences of beeps meant something. And once you understood that, you weren't like, oh, did I hear it? You were like, well, it fucking big dumb beep, you know. So there was no unclear communication. Sometimes as I get older, I just want the subtitles on in any game, even if they subtitle things that you wouldn't even necessarily hear if you had good hearing. So conversations that happen in other rooms extremely quietly and things like that. I do think some people make mistakes there where they nitpick well, you can't hear that anyways. Well, you might actually be able to hear it if you were playing the game with headset on and the volume up to the level that they designed the game. Like, well, you're going to have this on, you're going to be immersed, and you're going to really hear it. Death of the author and all that, I guess. All right, guys. Hopefully we'll have a new video up tomorrow night, and I'll see you soon.